What's up, everyone? Today we've got a box from Integrated Engineering, and this contains some parts for Jared's car. So, Jared,
see what we have here.
What's in here?
This should be a rear wiper delete, get rid of the rear wiper blade and motor and all that stuff. And this should also be a vacuum pump delete kit. Because as we all know, the only thing those are good for is leaking oil.
07Ks?
All they're good for.
Every 07K leak. So actually, I saw a Mark 6 Jetta one time that didn't leak.
That didn't leak? Wow, that's impressive. In here, I believe this would be the vacuum pump delete kit. That's that.
So this is going to be our vacuum pump delete. So what you get is a billet plate. I already know this because I have one, but we'll get that out. So you have this billet plate, and this bolts in place of the vacuum pump, and this goes on the back side of the engine, hangs over the transmission. So some key things here, other than the fact that it's shiny and nice, it's also got this little lip. So what this lip does is when you pull the vacuum pump off, it has its own oil supply. This blocks the oil flow so you don't lose oil pressure. Super important. If this was just a flat plate, you probably wouldn't be enjoying life. Neither would your engine.
It's also very pretty. They also did a very good job at
and then with that, some nice hardware and an O-ring to seal it all up. And a koozie for Jared's road sodas.
Ooh. You were going to put a 6-pack of root beer in there? And we got some... Oh, we got a white IE sticker. And we also got a green IE sticker. Let's put this over here. In here, we also have this little guy. This would be the rear wiper delete kit.
I don't know anything about these, so this is all you, homeboy.
This is all me? Okay. Well, all this essentially does is get rid of your rear wiper on your hatchback. This little guy, it's just a plug. That's all it is. It just untwists.
Oh. Do you pull the motor out?
Yes, pull everything out, and then these just twist together. And then I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's 2 O-rings in here that'll sandwich on the glass so that moisture and stuff doesn't get in there. It's obviously going to rain, so. But it is also made out of billet aluminum, just like the plate. Super nice. I'm excited to get both these installed. So, this is the vacuum pump delete kit here. It comes, billet like we talked about, really nice on the back here. So, the stock one is kind of in an awkward spot. I did remove the air intake filter I had just so I can get to the one bolt. There is a bolt at the top. Right there. It is I've loosened it already so you guys can see it. And the other 2 are kind of hidden. There's one all the way at the bottom, which would be this bottom one on there. And then on this side, right there as well. And that's right here. My finger's on it, but that one's kind of hard to see. So now we'll just go ahead and take it off with my fingers because I already loosened them. So we got the vacuum pump out. It is loose now. We're just going to pull it out here. Another thing I did to help was we disconnected this line right here from the brake booster. You can see where it goes in there. It's just held on. Just pull, just don't break it. Let's get this out. Just gonna snake it and finagle it. There we go. So this will be the stock vacuum pump we have here. They're just known for leaking. And this one, we'll just bolt right up to the stock location, which is going to be something about like right here to block it off. But we're going to go back in the shop, and it does come with a gasket we have to put in there. So we'll go ahead and go in there now and put the gasket on. Alright, so we got the stock one off. It's over there. We got the stock one off, all the hardware and everything off like that. The included vacuum pump delete kit does come with a gasket. It's in the shape of a circle. You just have to use grease, or in this case I use Vaseline, just to get it in the gully right here. You can see that it goes around. And this is the new hardware. So the original hardware that came out of it is a T30. That's why the T30's here. And then the new one is not a T. So those are the tools you need to do this job. Okay, now let's try to get it into place. Just gonna run it right under the battery tray. That seemed easiest. All right, so we got the new one in from IE. It is in now. You can see it right here. And the new hardware, I think, was a 5. I believe that's what I used to get it in there. But she's in there. She's snug. She's tight. On to the next job. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna delete this rear wiper. I'm not a fan of how they look. I like them shaved much better. So first thing you have to do is, there's a plastic piece that goes here. It does pop off, it might break. It's kind of whatever. In this situation, I don't want it anyway. This is a 14. So it's gonna take this off. So once you get the bolt off, it might take some finagling, but this will come off. It took us a little bit to get it off, but it will come off. I already popped these off. You'll need these off, just try to pop the whole plastic piece off, because this whole plastic piece has to come off so you can take the motor out. There's 2 screws right here in these pockets to pull down the trunk. There's 2 screws in here. And that's where the T20 comes into play. Let me get this last one. Bam. 2 screws. Put those aside because they will have to go back in. Okay. Now let's do the scary part, which is trying to pop this off. There is just like clips in here, and they do break all the time. We got all these off here. We're just gonna lower it down. And these are the clips we were talking about. They can break on the base, but most of them you can just slide back in if you still have them or find them. Let's set this up to the side for now. To get the motor off, there's 3 bolts right here, and right here. And those are a 10mm. So let's get those off. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take this last bolt out here. Once that's out, the next 2 things you'll need to do is, this is for the windshield washer fluid, this line. So you just need to pop that out. And then this one, just pop straight out. And then we can grab the whole motor and pull inwards. Now we don't need this. Once you got those out of the way, all I did was shove this up under this wire, and then here's the windshield washer fluid. I just tied it up out of the way, put it in this clip, just so it's out of the way nice when you put the plastic back on. So next we gotta get the rubber grommet out, which I've already pushed a little bit halfway out. All you have to do is push it straight out, and it'll come out the top of the hatch. So already out. So we got Jackson out in the front holding it for me. And this is a 5mm Allen.
If you're on the outside and it's not your car, you don't have to make sure it's straight.
Hopefully it's straight.
It's not straight.
It's not straight? Oh my.
I mean, it's straight-ish. Looser. That look more straight. Looks pretty good, yeah. Yeah.
Hold it tight somehow, some way. I don't know how.
All right. Lock her down. Good thing it's not my car.
Good?
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be. We got everything done. All the plastic's back up. We got the T screws back in there. So everything is back. Good to go now. And here's the finished product. Looks much.
All right, we're making some progress on the wiring harness, which we need to do because I've done nothing for the last 3 months on that. But we're going to take a brief intermission because I just got a box of fabrication materials that we're going to go through and kind of talk about what we got here. And maybe we'll even put some work into trying to mock up a stainless downpipe and figure some other stuff out. So let's get all this stuff out of the box, see what we got to work with, and go from there. so the internet doesn't freak out on me, my tacks are not hot enough to melt all the way through so it doesn't oxidize on the backside. Yes, I know. Internet weld inspectors get paid very well to do what they do. And they know their shit. I think that's the worst part of doing this, is I know I'm gonna have to hear shit about something.
Sweet.
Okay, so made some progress on the downpipe. Good majority of it's welded. I still need to do the V-band flange and the bellows, and then I came up short on pie cuts, so I'm gonna need a couple more things to get that wrapped up next time. And then we made some pretty good progress on the wiring harness. Coil section's all done, injectors are all done, and for some reason I forgot to run wires for the knock sensors. So we'll probably start there next time.
Cool. Yeah, we got the vacuum pump delete kit all buttoned up today and done, and the rear wiper delete kit. So huge shout out to Integrated Engineering for those parts. And if you guys have an Audi or a Volkswagen, be sure to hit those guys up for all your parts.